whenever someone tells me, oh, you're just 19, because I get that a lot,
Of course.
whenever I go to these events, some people do underestimate you for your age. Not knowing what your experience is, they just decide based on that number that you do not know anything, you're just a kid.
So tell us about your business.
It is supplying to all of the leading marketplaces in the UAE, Amazon, Noon, and other marketplaces, and that are there in the same niche as us. And it was about raising awareness to people that e-waste is a concerning issue. There's about 6.2 million tons of e-waste on the earth right now.
Wow.
And
hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Junior Gladiator Kidpreneurs, where we interview young people that have amazing stories to tell. And do I have an incredible young lady for you today? She's only 19 years old. She's running a multi-million-dollar business. She started her business at only 14. She's involved in multiple businesses, which I will let her explain in a moment. Her name is Verma. She's only 19. I'm so excited to introduce her to you. Sia, welcome to our studio today.
thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. It's crazy that I'm here finally.
Do you know what's crazy is that you're only 19 years old and you are running an incredibly successful multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
mean, kudos to you. It's just
Thank you so much.
incredible. So before we jump into your business journey, if you can just introduce yourself to our viewers.
Sure. Hi everyone. My name is Sia. I am 19 at the minute. I started this journey when I was 14 years old, and I started this with my dad's trading business. So my dad was in the refurbished devices trading business, which is sustainable. How I found that was a journey altogether, and learning from different YouTubers like Neil Patel and all the different YouTubers which are there in the digital marketing field. I just randomly started with just scrolling on Instagram and finding Neil Patel, and I ended up seeing his videos, learned how to do a bit of marketing. So I asked my dad, okay, let me just have some budget from you, and I'm gonna like try running some ads for you, but just like a summer thing which I was trying out, and that worked out, and we got like double orders with that. So he's like, okay, whatever you're doing, you'll keep doing that. So I was like, okay, and then that passion kind of turned into what I wanted to do further. Um, I was in, I think, 8th or 9th grade at that time, and that was what it started with. And now we're standing at $1 million monthly sales with our business. So that's incredible how it's been.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, just you're thinking about your father. So he's got his daughter who's 14. I'm just going to try something for you, Dad.
Yeah.
Suddenly, literally recreates his business and quadruples all his sales. I mean,
Yeah. Like my parents have been always together in business, They started the business together and I always saw them like working on it, growing it. So sometimes I used to love packing the orders for the customers because we used to have our own website as well. And we used to also do like wholesale for different marketplaces at that time. So I used to love packing the orders. I used to love being in the office. That businesswoman was like my thing from the start, I think. And yeah, so he was really shocked with how it happened. And he's like, what did you do? I was like, I just saw some YouTube video and it's working. And he's like, well, great. Do you want to continue this? I was like,
would you like a job?
would you like a job? I was like, okay, sure, maybe. And then I did my schooling till 10th, like the regular schooling in the CBSE system. And after the 10th, I dropped out because I was like, 11th and 12th, I did from like homeschooling. So I just gave the exams, I passed and everything. But in 11th and 12th, I was like working on the business like full time. And I was just working from home because I was back in India. I was not in Dubai at that time.
Okay.
So yeah, because of that, I was like working on it as a digital marketing person. And from that, I have taken over the whole FoneZone as it is now. So it started with just marketing, then it came with sales, then another like division came over, and now I'm just handling the whole of FoneZone. That's the brand that we have.
Absolutely amazing. So let's just go back a little bit. So
Yeah.
before you got into doing the ads for your father. So at
Mm-hmm.
this point, you're 14. Before that, you've already had some exposure inside the
The
company
business,
business,
yes.
working with mom and dad,
Yeah.
seeing your parents obviously running a business. And now I think sometimes that can also have, it can either be a benefit or it can turn people away
Yeah, definitely.
because you see your parents going through struggles and
Uh-huh.
difficulties through
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. But for you, that wasn't the case.
I mean, I would say it was both the ways. I used to see my parents working so hard, so it used to be like I would just want to do something for them.
Mm.
Like I want to be involved so that I can help them out as much as I can. But they were like literally breaking points in the middle of the business because my father is like he's very precise. It's either if it's business, it's business. You are not family. If you're making a mistake, it is your mistake, so you have to own up to it. But as that point of time, I used to be a bit like, no, it's not my mistake, and I just used to avoid it. So my dad had literally taught me a lot of lessons through it, being strict on me, and that was like one thing that I'm really grateful for him for, that he just pointed out my mistake when it was, not leaving me just because I'm his kid. And that showed me a lot of things. So that point was like a breaking point for me, that I want to drop out. Maybe I'm not meant for it. And like there were so many what ifs. They still happen. It's like it's not like they don't happen right now. They still do, but it's just, you just grow up with them.
But amazing. And I think that that's teaching you accountability.
Yeah, that is exactly.
Really teaching accountability. And here's the thing, and this is one thing that I do believe that we learn through entrepreneurship,
Yeah,
is that
definitely.
making mistakes is okay.
Is okay, yes.
We all do it, no
We
matter
all
how
do
long
it.
we've
No
been in
matter, yeah,
business.
exactly. I agree to it. That 100%.
How fascinating. What a fascinating story. So let's talk about the relationship with mum and dad then, because
Sure.
sometimes family businesses can be great. Sometimes family businesses can be challenging when you're
Yes,
working so
definitely.
closely with
Yes.
family members. How did that relationship develop with mum and dad? And how did you keep, I guess, the family side separate from the business side?
With my mom, which she's like a very stubborn person. If she's head on with something, like she will get it done no matter what. It's gonna take her time. She knows, she's very resilient on it, and she's very calm and composed about it. But my dad is just like the opposite. So if
Okay.
he wants something, he wants it done and dusted. Like he does not wait to get it done. Like he does not like delaying the work. If you know that you have to get a work done, just get it done and close it off. But in the terms of the relationship with them, I used to have a lot of fights with my dad. Like,
Well, you're
like
probably very similar to him. That's
yes,
why.
I am.
Hmm.
That's why. So we used to, the similar clash.
Hmm.
So we used to fight a lot in that time. Like he used to scold me a lot. I used to cry. Like, why are you doing this to me? Do you not like me? And then all
Wow.
of those things used to come along. But I think with time, I've understood his point of view. He always tells me that a diamond needs the rough patch and the burning and the pressure to be made a diamond. So that's what he's taught me, and he gave me that pressure. And because of it, right now I am what I am. So I understand what he did,
Hmm.
and I'm really happy. But now, like Touchwood, we have a really good relation. Like he appreciates me. He calls me his son, and it's like one of the best feelings as a Indian elder sister.
Yes.
So, it's a great feeling that he feels that I'm responsible enough to be a person who can handle things if he's not there.
And to lean on him as
Yeah.
well.
He
Think
can
it
lean on me
and it
on
will
that.
take some time to
Yeah.
adapt to, of course, different personalities because you know him as dad.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly to go from this environment where he's fun and loving and a father to then,
Yeah.
okay, now who is this person that now is a
Yeah,
disciplinarian
definitely.
and, more strict and more
Yeah,
direct?
definitely. That used to happen. Like, used to be, I used to tell him, like, okay, right now you're in sir mode. Because I call him like sir in the office. So I was like, you're sir right now. I'll talk to you when you're dad. And that's
Wait
like
till
a
you get
instant.
home.
I was like, wait till you need to turn out to the dad mode, and then I'll ask you the same thing, like from a daughter's perspective, and
And
that
I think,
was
I
nice.
guess also for him, if we had a conversation with him too, switching those hats from going from business
Yeah.
owner to having, a direct desire and need to get things done to then coming home and, okay, now I'm a father,
Yeah.
now I'm a guide, now I'm a friend.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
not an easy transition for him either to
Yeah.
differentiate between roles.
Definitely, it
How
is. It is like
interesting.
that.
Are any of your other siblings also in the business?
No, I'm the only one. My
Brilliant.
my younger sister, she's like 5 years younger to me, So she's not interested in the family business. She's like, actually she's a graphic designer. So she has amazing drawings that she does. And then I think that's the better off page with her, but it's her decision, whatever she wants to take up in her future, because she's great at what she does. So
How wise are you? I mean, you've been obviously incarnated many lives before because you're
I think
incredibly
so.
well.
Yeah, I've had a lot of patches and phases in my life. I think I've experienced a lot of things. And whenever someone tells me, "Oh, you're just 19," because I get that a lot, you know.
Of course.
Whenever I go to these events, some people do underestimate you for your age,
Hmm.
not knowing what your experience is. They just decide based on that number that you do not know anything. You're just a kid, but they do not know that I come from like a 5-year-old year experience that I'm talking at. And if I do not tell my age, they would never know that I'm 19. And that's what so I started doing that in some of the events. I used to not tell my age because you get underestimated, and that's not a good feeling when you've done so much of hard work, and then you get to hear, oh, you're a kid. Oh, that's not
People
a good
just
feeling.
presume, yeah, like you say,
They just presume, and
mm,
I think that's one of the things I connected with a lot of people from the kidpreneur thing. Like there were this two siblings I saw at the Gladiator second, and they were so amazing. And I told them the same thing, that don't let your age be a barrier to what you can achieve. So
mm.
definitely that.
And in some ways, for me, working with kids in this whole entrepreneurship
Mm-hmm.
space, I often think that's a benefit. Because
Yeah,
with adults, we come with all these preconceived ideas of what can be done and what can't be done, and we put barriers to this and barriers
yeah,
to that based on our own conditioning or life experiences. But as young people, you come with a very fresh way of thinking. Almost anything is possible. Dream big. We can achieve anything. You don't have the same limitations that we
yeah,
have.
definitely.
So the way of the creativity is incredible when you look at young people and what
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
we did a camp with kids, and we took the sustainable goals and we said to the children, they were in groups, okay, come up with some kind of a solution for one of these sustainable goals. And they
Mm-hmm.
had maybe an hour to work on this project. I cannot tell you the ideas that they came up with. I was
Yeah.
blown away. Like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, incredible. If some of these were actually went into manufacturing, they would be reducing plastic waste, helping with the environment,
Yeah.
because they don't have that same limiting beliefs that we have as
Yeah.
adults. So, no, I honor you. I think you're incredible. But I do
Thank you so
understand where you
much.
come from. I know people do automatically think that because you're young, you don't have the experience.
Definitely, yes.
But you can use that to your advantage, because I know when I had the first conversation with you and I knew that you were 19 before we spoke at the Gladiator Summit. And then we had this conversation, and I was just so impressed by you. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a lot of belief in young people anyway, but to have a conversation, I would never think that you were just 19. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, age is just a number, as we say.
I agree to that.
Mm.
Yes. Coming back to the sustainability thing that you did, actually, the business that I am in is related to sustainability
Which I'd like
directly.
to go on to that now.
Yeah.
So tell us about your business.
So what we our phone the company is called Super Click Trading LLC. That is the company that we are as it is, and it is supplying to all of the leading marketplaces in the UAE, Amazon, Noon, and other marketplaces, and that are there in the same niche as us. So we're in the refurbished electronic devices, which is basically taking in devices, being it laptops, iPads, tablets, and whatever, taking them in, refurbishing them to their utmost level that we can make them up and put them on the live shelf again. So
Amazing.
that
Because
is
we all have
reducing,
things
yeah.
stuck on shelves at home, phones, like
Yeah,
me included. I have some business for you, by the way.
yeah,
I need to get some deliveries to you. But
sure.
we do. And like you said before, as the electronics companies are so quick to turn products around, new
Yes,
iPhone, new this, new that, then what do we do with the obsolete ones? So
yes.
I think it's a really, really great initiative. Was this something that your father developed?
So actually, it was like a trading business that he was already doing.
Okay.
But when I saw that from up close, doing the marketing for it, before it was just like selling pre-owned devices because that was all it was. But then after a time of realizing what he was actually doing, I realized that we're just taking the products that were supposed to go in a dump.
Mm.
There's about 6.2 million tons of e-waste on the earth right now.
Wow.
And that is something that we're doing, that we're taking those products, we're refurbishing them without capabilities that not everybody can have, from repairing their screens, the motherboards and everything, and we're putting them on the shelf again, so giving an extended life shelf about them. So I realized that it was not just about selling the device, it was more than that. It was sustainability, it was giving the life again to these devices and giving them a new home. And
Incredible.
it was about raising awareness about to people that e-waste is a concerning issue. Like even the Dubai government has to take initiatives which are coming in 2026, which I've heard that they are going to do some initiative about the electronic waste.
Amazing. Oh, is that so?
Yeah,
Okay.
so there is a lot of
Yeah.
things which are happening with the e-waste, because each country has their own. Because if you have like, you might be having like three phones. Everybody has like three phones, laptops, iPads, whatnot. So after a point of time, they just lie around in your house.
True.
By lying around, they're just not using up the space. They're also releasing chemicals which are not necessary and good for your home or your office or whatever. So it is something that needs to be taken care of. So yesterday, in fact, I posted a reel about the same thing. I saw a lady from on Love in Dubai. I was just scrolling. There was this lady who just made a video about a man who was pretending like he did an unboxing for his phone, and the video didn't really come out the way he wanted it to. So he just went and bought another iPhone.
Uh,
And the lady, she was like,
such
how
waste.
rich is this man? I was like, that is not rich. That is being like, you're not taking care of your resources.
Mm,
You need to take care of the money that you have. I get it, you have a lot of money, but you're increasing electronic waste just because your unboxing video didn't come out. That doesn't make any sense.
of course.
So I actually made a video about it yesterday.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So really changing waves and changing the way that people
Yeah.
perceive things. And but I like the point that you made about having these chemicals in the home because they
Hmm.
do emit this radiation, right? Even when they're switched off. So it's not healthy for the family to have these. And I'm guilty of that as well because I do have a cupboard with old electronics that I need to give to you. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Like what are the downsides to having these devices in the home? How can
Hmm.
that affect the overall health of the body? And how can people get around that to prevent it?
So definitely, like the devices, even if they're turned off, there's a lithium battery in it, so the battery will like get fuller and it's gonna burst. So it can lead to fires. It can just burst open and it's gonna release chemicals which are not good if you're keeping them. Like I've seen a lot of people keeping them with their clothes. So it's like,
So fire
we
hazard
used to,
there.
yeah, so
So
fire hazard is there. You've seen the remotes. If you just leave a cell in that for a long time, it releases this chemical, right? So that thing can happen on your clothes and you would not even realize it, and that chemical can still be lying around there. So what I also said in the video is that, okay, you do not want that device, cool, so just trade it in to companies like us so that we can give you the money for it. You do not have to use up your space, you do not have to like harm your surroundings for unnecessary reasons. And then you can also give it to recycling companies that can actually just dismantle it, give off the parts to companies which can refurbish them, and they can just remove the unnecessary parts from them.
amazing. So how
Yeah.
would people reach out to you if they, okay, I've got all these devices at home, I need to do something with them. How do they find you?
So we have a website called phonezone.ae, phonezone.ae. So we have a buyback option there. So what
Okay.
we do is that we allow the customers to sell their old device at the same time. And then we can give them another device, whichever they want, iPhone 14, 15, whatever. And we will reduce the value for it. So it is like a there and there thing. So we recommend our customers that please go and just give off your old device if you do not require it, and we'll give you a discount for the value of it. So most of the customers end up agreeing to it, and that's a good thing. Like, when someone sees their benefit monetarily, they are more inclined
Mm,
to doing it.
of course. Oh,
Yeah.
what's in it for me, syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. What is in it for me?
But
Yeah.
it makes sense. At least people know that, okay, I've spent money on this device. I can get something back from it. I don't have to have
Hmm.
it standing in the shelf. And I know now you're in over 30 countries
Yes,
worldwide
we are. Yes.
with your products. Is
Yes.
that through Amazon or you have your
No,
own?
we have our own website. So from our own website, we have 30 countries. We're delivering worldwide, but 30 countries are the countries that are reoccurring and they're buying us from again and again. Like South Africa is one of the biggest countries after UAE and Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
So like that is an amazing place to increase my business. I'm planning on more things happening there. But South Africa has been a great exposure place for us because one, there is a shortage of the devices
Mhm.
as it is. Second, people have like they have the money, but they do not have the place where they can go and buy a device from.
Okay.
So, FoneZone stands for three things. It stands for affordability, reliability, and sustainability. So, in my country, like India, we see a lot of people still have a dream to buy an iPhone. So that's for many countries. That's for like South Africa, Egypt, and whatnot. There are many countries out there. But what happens is that they do not have, like in India, one iPhone is like for 1 lakh rupees, which is a big amount.
Hmm.
So on our website, these phones are at like half the prices. So if you buy an iPhone for 5,000, on our website it's going to be like around 2,500. So it is affordable for everyone to access and reliable because my dad has 27 years of experience in this business. So that's the experience which I get to help people around the world, and sustainable as it is because of the reducing electronic waste thing that we have.
And I guess as they want to upgrade, then they can then sell the phones back and then the
Exactly,
cycle
yes.
continues.
Yes. So it's just like the 3 R's,
Amazing.
reuse, recycle, and revamp. Yes.
Oh,
So
fascinating.
yes.
So it's a business that does good as well, which I love that.
Yeah.
You're giving back to the environment and also to the people too and making it affordable.
Definitely, yes.
And what kind of devices can people give? So you've mentioned phones, laptops,
Mm-hmm.
what else?
So we have all the brands in the phones. We have Apple, Samsung, Android, everything. We have laptops as well. We have Apple laptops, HP and Dell, and all of the brands which are usually there. And as well as we have Apple watches. We have iPads. We have all the different sort of like we have TVs as well. So we do also sell like some of the brand new products because some customers do want just brand new.
Okay.
But that is something that we do. So we have a huge, we have about 5,000 SKUs that we have on their website right now.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you store them as well. So you would take them from the consumers, you would
Mm-hmm.
then replenish them and then you store them.
So what we try to do is we refurbish them. We get them, we refurbish them, and we list them again on the website so
Okay.
that they can be sold again.
Hmm.
We try not to keep that much of stock in the office because of the security reasons and the environmental reasons. It's not like a great example to keep there.
And how fast would things turn around then? So say, for example, tomorrow, okay, I've got a new iPhone. I give the iPhone to you. You
Mm-hmm.
refurb the iPhone. How quickly would that be sold?
So that would take like about 7 working days because depending on the condition of the phone, there are
Okay.
like about 5 conditions that are available on the website. It's good grade. Good grade is going to be 85% battery health with scratches and dents prior usage, and then very good would be less dents. It'll be less than 3 dents, a bit more scratches, and then 90% battery health, and that like list goes on.
Okay.
So we have different grades, and if your iPhone is there, so we'll have to look at which grade it'll fit in.
Uh,
So if it fits in the good grade per se, then we are like we can sell it. And if it's already at the condition which it can be sold, it passes all the 72 point of quality check that we have. And once it's cleared, and then we can put our own sticker on it, and then we can just sell it on our website. So that'll take around 2 to 3 days depending on the model if it's all done.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I can see you're very passionate about
Yeah.
this business.
Definitely, yes.
Amazing.
It's been something that I've been doing from 5 years. So I think doing this at this young age, one thing is that whatever you're doing, have the passion for it so that you can continue. Because if you start something that you do not really like, then I don't think so it's gonna be there for the long run with you.
Mm,
Because if you're doing something in a business for say, it's something that's gonna take all out of you.
of course.
Like I have spent like till 4 a.m. I'm in the office, I'm just doing this, doing some of the work, and that didn't really turn out well for me. But but that was how it was. So it was like I was crazy about it.
But
So
you couldn't
it
have done that
yeah.
if you didn't have that passion.
Yes, exactly. If it requires you to do something, then you do it.
Mm,
Because you don't know when you need to sit longer in the office or something happens, which problem you need to solve, because it takes a lot out of you as a
100%.
business. Yes.
This is one of the reasons why we want to introduce this Kidpreneurs program to children, because there's
Mm-hmm.
so many. I mean, I have so many conversations with adults that say, I've been in this, job for the last 30, 40 years, or this
Yeah.
profession, and I hate it. And I did this because my parents wanted me to be a doctor, or my parents wanted me to be this. And nobody really asks, okay, what are you passionate about? What do
Yeah,
you enjoy to
definitely.
do?
Mm-hmm.
Let's find what excites you and then let's formulate something around that, whether it's
Yeah.
working for a company in that field or starting your own business, but tapping into what it is inside you that makes you happy. And I think that's the fundamental question of everything. If we can
Yeah.
just get that right from the beginning, as children or as teenagers or young professionals, then the rest of life kind of works out. Of course, there's ups and downs,
Yeah,
but
definitely
you're doing
there is.
something that you enjoy. You're absolutely right. And in entrepreneurship, it does take over your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't do something that you love, you'll burn out.
Yeah, definitely a burnout. Like I've had a lot of burnouts because I was because with the Instagram going on, there are many guys who are trying to show the flashy cars. They're showing their sales on e-commerce platforms, but that's not really how it works.
Mm,
You cannot just work on an e-commerce business for a year and expect to get all the flashy cars that they are doing,
of course.
because that is like misleading a lot of people and a lot of my friends which I've seen in my age. They're like, oh, let me just make a drop shipping store, and I'll make this million dirhams or rupees, and I'll be able to just buy whatever car I want. I was like, this is not how easy it is,
Of course.
because running an e-commerce store is more than that. Even if you need to run ads on Google, you need to follow the terms and conditions. You move thing here, they're gonna suspend your account. You're not gonna be able to run ads.
Mhm.
So it's not that easy as they show it to be, and they're like, I feel like it's misleading a lot of people. So I think that that needs to be changed around there. So I was thinking of doing something myself about that. So probably I'm going to start posting some videos for guys and girls who are like actually interested on what they can do, because nobody can tell you exactly what to do. You
You
just
have
have
to
to figure
find
it
out
out
that,
yourself,
of course.
because what worked for me might not work for you. What
Exactly.
resources I have, like for example, I had my dad's thing and I uplifted it, but you might not have a parent who's having a business that you can grow onto,
Mm,
right? So that depends on person to person, and you have to learn and grow in your own journey. You cannot just copy paste someone else's story and make it your own. You have to make your own story.
of course.
Yeah,
Um,
so that
You're so wise, really. I mean, you blow me away. You did from the first
thank
time I
you,
met you.
Angela.
What do you, if you were just following on from that, if you
Yeah.
were to say, okay, through this journey of entrepreneurship and business,
Mm-hmm.
I would say these are the most or the deepest skills that I've learned. What would they
Mm-hmm.
be? How do you think you've grown as an individual, as a businesswoman?
Yeah, so I think like never stop learning. I feel like reading, I feel like instead of learning from the Instagram, I think people who actually are interested in business get the business books, because Instagram will not give you the information which a book can.
Oh, okay. If you were to recommend for somebody wanting to get into business, could you give me your maybe top three books that you would recommend as a starting point?
Uh-huh. I have Start with Why,
Okay.
Science Sneak, and then What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School.
Nice.
And there is another one which I read. It was related to the MBA. I literally forgot that name, but I have it in my bag. So yeah, that is another one which I would, because the third one is the first that I read, and that is the most amazing thing that I read, and it gave me a lot of things, value creation. What would you want to do in a business? You need to create value. You need to have your customers need to understand what you do, and there's a lot of key pointers in it for someone to start a business from that book. Yeah.
So start with why.
Mm-hmm.
Start with why. That will be your first point of call for
Yeah.
education. And what are you doing now to keep yourself abreast of new developments? Because the entrepreneurship or the business landscape is changing massively now with this
Yeah,
whole AI
definitely.
movement.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How are you integrating AI into your business and where do you see
So
the benefits of that?
definitely. So we have a lot of SKUs sitting in the office. So we have some of the AI softwares which can manually like do the detection for us
Okay.
and detect that okay, this SKU can be shipped in this order. So we have this own AI tool that we have. And other than that, I'm trying to teach the team to use ChatGPT and other AI tools for using a better language while you're talking to the customer,
Okay.
so you can give them a better and precise answer on it. But still, with the AI, I feel like AI is a helping tool and not something that you used to completely use it. Like people have chatbots, but I'm not really in favor of the chatbots that people place on their websites,
Mm.
because if I need to ask a question, a human can use an AI, give a better answer. But if they give chatbot, sometimes the chatbot is not
It's
able
not
to
relevant.
understand what
Mm,
exactly the customer wants. Sorry.
exactly.
So that is that.
So using AI to enhance the customer
Yeah,
experience and the user
definitely.
experience, but not to take over.
Yeah, not to take over at all.
Does
Yes.
your mother and father, do they fear AI or are they open to it? Because they're
No.
a different generation that
Yeah,
obviously you.
definitely. I think they're very open to it. I think my dad is more tech savvy than me. So he's, finding out different AI tools. He's like, okay, I think you can use this one here and all of that. And my mom, she is more of like a person that works in her own space. So she's something, okay, you tell her something, she'll do that. But she's not really up on the exposure side, because she's like, okay, you both do the exposure. I don't think so. We need the third person
She's
there.
more behind the scenes,
She's more behind the scenes
which
because
you
she's a
need.
finance person.
Ah,
So she's looking after the finance. So that really doesn't require the exploring part. So she's with the grounding and all of those things that, okay, I'll pull you guys down if you go more ahead, but
mhm.
you guys go and do that thing. So yeah.
Where do you see your journey going? Because I see amazingly great things for you.
Yeah.
I mean, already we've had conversations. I see you on stage. I see you inspiring young people, training, guiding.
Yeah.
I know right now you don't have the time because you're running your multi-million dollar
Yeah.
business, but where would you like your journey to go as
Mm-hmm.
an individual, as a businesswoman?
Right. So one thing that is there on my vision board is going to be the Forbes cover.
Okay.
One thing, 30 on the 30 is going to happen soon.
Under 30's most successful
Yeah, so
business people.
that is what I'm looking at. That's there on the vision board. Other than that, I think having a business which can actually make the amount of impact that I wanted to,
Hmm.
because e-waste is a big issue and people are not really looking at it. Plastic and all of these water pollution and all of that, they're visibly happening.
True.
But this is something which is under the covers and it's not that big of an impact, because many big companies are the reason for it happening. So, they have the control over it to put it behind the covers.
Of
But
course.
this is a big issue because everybody is using multiple devices. So I really want to spread awareness about it. That's where I see myself going.
Mhm.
Secondly, and actually able to get people the device that they want would be the third, because I still see my team members, they do not have the device that they want for themselves and their kids. And then sometimes, many companies send their like big companies in the real estate and whatnot. I would prefer them. Like I tried contacting few of them, and even the government companies that replace your devices with refurbished.
Do you have any corporate deals right now,
Yes, we
companies that
do.
are working with you? Because that
Yes,
would
we
be a
do.
great initiative to get more
Yeah,
companies more aware.
yeah, we
And
do
of course,
have a
they'd save
corporate deal.
money too.
Yes. So we also recommended there are many Noon and Talabat drivers which they personally buy from us, not from the
Mm.
company, but because we're so affordable and reliable, so they'd end up coming to us and turning our way and buy from us. So many of them came in the office and I met them and I was like, "How did you like the phone?"
Ah,
And they were like, "It's really nice. You got us the phone that we wanted and all of that." So it is like a very warming feeling when you see people that you can help
mm.
and you're helping them out just because your prices are less, even that. But then that's a great thing to, which I would want further as well.
Which is really beautiful that you're actually face to face with the customers too. And
Yeah,
I know you're running the business from top level, but you're also down on the ground,
yeah,
meeting customers, networking. That's how we met, right?
yes, exactly.
Learning and developing for yourself and
Yes,
networking with others. So Kudos to you. I mean, you're an
Thank you.
amazing young lady.
Thanks
So
so
just
much.
once again, how can people reach out to you if they do want to trade in their devices?
So if they want to trade in their device, they can go to phonezone.ae, which is FONEZONE.ae, and they can go into the buyback button. And on the buyback, they can trade in their device. They have to fill a form, and then my team will reach out to them, and they can get the value for the device. The phone will be picked up by a courier or by the delivery driver, depending on the location that they're in. And this is only for the UAE at the minute.
Okay.
So we're just doing it for the UAE because the other countries get a big of a vast of a chapter to handle. But in the UAE, we can pick them up. We'll evaluate them basis on the 72 point of quality check that we have. And once we have that evaluation, then we can give them an estimate value. If they're okay with that value, we send them the funds after taking proof of evidence, like their identity, and we can just pay them on their bank accounts or however it's convenient for them.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Sia, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you,
today.
Angela.
What an
Thank you.
insightful conversation. I genuinely wish you all the success
Thank you
in
so
your
much.
business, in life. You know, you're out there doing good, you're working hard, you really are an inspiration. So
Thank you
I
so
honor
much.
you. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Wow, what a conversation. How motivating, how inspiring that, these young professionals, trailblazers are making such an impact and such a difference in the world. So thank you so much for joining us. Please do reach out to Seema and her business. Let's get all of our old devices refurb. Let's make the planet a better and healthier place. And let's also help people that maybe not be able to afford these devices by refurbing our own. So amazing. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.